Okay, so let me start. Uh, this is the trade I shared on Instagram on Friday. Actually, I don't like to hold the trades over the weekends, but yep, I did. I will tell you the reason as well. So in weekly, sorry, okay, so yeah, in weekly, if you see, we were in outer structure, we were in bullish, like yeah, we are bullish in outer structure from this. So in weekly, we were bullish, and I found an interesting area. Let me tell you the reason behind the trade in weekly perspective. Okay, so if you see, this was in support, the market came up, then a resistance came back, stopped right just right here, came up, came back, took multiple rejections from this zone, multiple rejections, came up, came back. Then if you see this candle, let me just clear it. Okay, just so if you see this candle, look here. So first about this bullish candle, it stopped on that zone perfectly, acted as a resistance. The next daily candle came back up, then pushed down, acted as a resistance. The third candle, I was expecting it to close below this zone. Then we can expect at least a half of the structure. Okay, so that's the reason in weekly why I took this trade. But yep, we are bullish in weekly in outer structure. We are bearish in outer in inner structure in weekly. We were rejecting from this 50 EMA. So if you know, I look 50 EMA. Okay, and about this, I use no gaps candle. If you know about this, this is the indicator where it show you the gaps get filled. Okay, the weekend gaps. Okay, so this was view in weekly. Let me go to daily. Okay, so about this zone is perfect in daily. It's a beautiful structure to go for sell. Came back, rejection, came down, back up, rejection, rejection, back up, came down, rejection, rejection, and here. So I waited till a big rejection to came from this zone, from this EMA as well. So just after taking this rejection from the daily candle, I waited the next day as well. And on Friday, I got some multiple confirmations on the downside. So that's why I took this trade. I will explain it in low time frame as well, what kind of confirmation I do. Okay. So if you see, this was a nice area of interest in daily as well. Okay. In daily, we were bearish after this, after breaking this. Okay, we are bearish. This is our lower high, this is our lower low. So whatever inside this is just a structure, right? Okay, so what I'm expecting is at least move around this zone or this. Okay, okay, let me go to 4 hour. So we are bullish in weekly in outer structure, we are bearish in weekly in a structure, we are bearish in daily. Okay, in 4 hour, actually that time when I was taking this trade, which was on Friday around 6:30 or 5:30 Indian time. So actually it was in bullish in 4 hour, but still I just took this trade. Let me explain why. Okay, multiple rejections we can see here. First of all, this the rejection from the zone, uh, a head and shoulder in 4 hour as well. This was the trend line. After breaking this, I I did expected a kind of a retracement in this zone, and then we can move, right? So actually, the reason behind taking this trade was a great momentum towards the downside in euro. Okay, and then this is an head and shoulder, a break, and then boom. Okay, this was a structure in 4 hour, and right now what I'm expecting is it can it can be a big trade, right? But yeah, I just want it around this. Okay, let me go to 1 hour. Why I took this trade? What kind of confirmation I have seen? Okay, in 4 hour I have seen the head and shoulder, right? So the reason behind taking this trade just right after breaking this a little bit support in 1 hour. Okay, what happened here? Uh, we have we have a trend line for our trend line. We have created a resistance here. Okay, after breaking this zone, what can be happen? Like if I ask myself a question that after breaking this zone, do you want to take a buy or do you want to take a sell? That's the only question I ask to myself when I'm taking the trade, right? So the only thing I was looking was like we had a resistance with a multiple rejections. We have a trend line, multiple rejections. Then after breaking this wait. Okay. After breaking this resistance, we got a liquidity of these early sellers. As I told in my previous videos as well, the early sellers should be taken out before having a big move towards the downside, right? These were the early, these were the early sellers here, and we have taken them out, and a big candle with no wick upside. If you see this candle in 1 hour, there was no wick upside. So which tells us the momentum towards the downside, the domination of the sellers, right? So just after breaking this, I waited till kind of a retracement, you can say, towards this zone because if you see this zone, there are multiple rejections as well from the downside. So yep, this was a strong support in lower time frame as well. So after break, we got a uh, retest, and just not after just a retest. I waited till this move, like a week towards the upside. So if I got this, I've taken this here, right? It makes sense. Okay. So in and some more confirmations, right? Okay, let me explain what happened here. In 30 minutes, I I was I look for engulfing bars or hammers, right? This was an engulfing bar. It shows me the domination of the sellers. Okay, okay. In 15 minutes, let me explain you something. Okay, okay. This is a bullish engulfing bar, right? This is a bullish engulfing bar. This it have taken the previous candle completely out. Okay. After this bullish candle, market have given me a bull rally until this resistance, right? Okay. Then the next time it came down, it did not taken out the previous bias or kind of a taken out the previous bias, right? A time around 5:45, just before the New York, we can say it a pre-New York session, right? After getting this, we have this resistance. We have taken out the liquidity, multiple rejections, and then came down, break, retest with a massive candle, which shows us with a massive rejection from the upside, which shows us the downside momentum in this trade. So yep, this is where I took this trade, and actually I was pretty much like better positions in this trade on Friday. It came up. I held this trade because uh, I see a massive movement towards the downside in this pair. Okay, but I usually don't like to hold this trade to weekend due to the spreads. But yep. So this was the reason behind this trade. Actually, I use the SNF target SNF strategy as well, but use adding some kind of extra informations like uh, you can say like reading the charts correctly, reading the rejections correctly, having the candles in front of you, which you have seen from past more days, right? So it can help you with that because if you see we were bullish in weekly, we were bearish in daily, and we were bullish in 4 hour as well. Still, I took this trade. The reason because the structure and the price action played out just right here in 1 hour, 30 minutes, and 15 minutes, which shows us that it has the pressure towards the downside, and we are not expecting big targets, right? Which is if you see the RR I have here is 1 to 2.5, right? It's a pretty good decent RR according to the strategy. So let's see what happens here. And about this area, see what kind of shows the domination, right? So engulfing bars, uh, big red candles, right? So look at this here. Look at this zone. uh, in 15 minutes, multiple resistance from this zone, right? A lot of bias were here. So if you ask me a question, what if the markets come down, taken up the liquidity, and then came up? Then would you have taken the buy just right here? No. Look at the higher time frame, find the direction you want to take this trade, then go in the lower time frame, then add some extra confirmations, add some price action towards it, then take the trade towards the higher time frame. Okay, so don't get caught in lower time frame manipulations, right? Manipulations can be done in lower time frame only, right? Okay, so let's see. Actually, this in single trade, I can pass my phase one. I think so. If this comes just right here, mm, I can pass my trade. I can pass my funded account. Okay, which was a phase one 8%. So I usually risk around 3 to 4%, 3 to 4% to make it 8%, to make 8% in phase one. So let's see what happens. See you guys.